Hi folks, and welcome to another edition of the Hot Rod Show, brought to you by Mothers, Polishers and Waxers. Doug Bell and Phil Dark on the desk with you again tonight. And what a show we've got, Doug. You notice I've had a haircut, mate.
Yeah, Phil's had a haircut, but I tell you what, Phil should be giving his hair to me because my hair's falling out. So if any of you out there have got like spare hair lying around the face, just send it in to me, thanks. I'll put it in, I'll do the old Elton John thing. I'll have plugs all the way around the back of the head. I'll have long hair again.
Oh, that's a lawsuit coming up from Elton John.
Lawsuit, Elton John, plugs in the hair.
All right, back to normality. What have we got on the show for you today? Well, Doug heads off to the South Island to a little company with a huge reputation, Kelford Cams.
I mean, how many people know that we've got a thriving motorsport business here that exports product all around the world?
We also go to probably the most famous motoring museum in New Zealand, the Southwoods Museum, founded all those years ago by Len Southwood.
Len Southwood.
And on a bit of a sad note, we've got a tribute to Nigel Allsop, brother of Johnny Allsop from Allsop Joinery drag racing team. And because we're still under the COVID restrictions here in Auckland, we've got a little bit of an appetite whetter for you. We've got some drag racing footage from the Auckland Invasion down at the Masterton Autoplex. Now, I haven't been down to Masterton. In fact, the last time I went to the drags down there, it was still an airstrip.
Yeah.
Man, what a fantastic job they've done.
Oh, it is an absolutely beautiful drag strip. You've got mountains at one end, mountains at the other end, and this drag strip that goes from one end to the other in the middle.
Look, a huge thank you to Peter and the team from Mothers, Polishers and Waxers. Certainly couldn't do it without his support. All right, have a look at this amazing product from Mothers.
Here's to chrome. This kind of chrome, that kind of chrome. Chrome here, chrome there. Chrome by the inch, chrome by the yard. Now there's a unique sprayable quick polish to clean and protect any chrome surface with ease. Mothers California Gold All Chrome. Just spray, wipe, and buff your way to a brilliant shine. All Chrome from Mothers.
Beauty, clarity, depth, ease. Where simplicity meets perfection. The art of shine. Experience it with Mothers California Gold.
Fantastic product that Mothers makes your car shine like a brand new pin. Now, Kelford Cams, we're talking about the camshaft. And the camshaft in an engine, Doug's probably the unsung hero. You can hear a cam, but you can't see one. Exactly right, that's the sound we're looking for.
Oh, that lumpy idol of a V8 engine. It's exciting.
And if you're sitting here watching this and you're shaking your head and you're thinking, what the hell does a cam do? Well, I'll give you a basic lesson, because I am an A-grade mechanic. A lot of people know that.
How many Really?
One A-grade, yeah.
But A-grade mechanics, that's really neat, man.
In another lifetime ago, yes.
But that is amazing.
Basically, there's 4 cycles to a four-stroke engine. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. Intake is when the piston comes down, the intake valve opens, it sucks the fuel into the engine. On compression, it comes up, valves are closed. On power, the piston comes down again. On an exhaust, the exhaust valve opens. And that's all performed by the cam. So Kelford Cam's based in Christchurch, been around for a long, long time, and their main rationale is to provide aftermarket camshaft, because every car you buy comes with a cam, we all know that, but if you want a little bit more valve lift, a little bit more performance...
A bit of a lump.
A bit of a lump in the idle, like you say, that sounds sexy, exactly right. Well, you go to Kelford Cams. Kelford Cams, probably one of the most recognised camshaft grinders and builders, probably in Australasia.
Yeah, but you know, like 75% of what they do goes overseas. So anyway, now here I am in Christchurch and I'm going to pop around to Kelford Cams and talk with Kyle. Now, Kyle knows everything there is to know about a camshaft.
Kyle, happy birthday, Kyle. Hey,
cheers, mate.
Man,
Good,
this is a great place, hey, Christchurch.
It's not bad, and the weather's starting to come right too, which is good.
Beautiful.
Sun's
for
coming
days
out.
and days and days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so how long have you been with Kelford?
I've been at Kelford for almost bang on 5 years now.
Yeah.
Worked over in Australia in race parts with a lot of drag races and that sort of thing over there. Came home and just fell into it here. Really, it's been really good. So I've been here. We've got new machinery. We've got some new staff in, which is really good. And we just sort of keep trying to push. We're always ticking over the day-to-day stuff, but
Yeah.
we're always trying to expand what we're doing as well, which is really good.
You guys are right up to the plate with everything that's going on. aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. With the latest machinery that we've bought, we usually we do all of the R&D ourselves, or with customers as well. You know, sometimes if it's a market where they get an engine that we don't get in New Zealand, then we have to rely on some of our customers around the world to send us parts and go from there.
Where do you sign up to be a Calford test cam pilot?
Well, you talk to us.
Talk to you,
yeah. We're always, we're always looking for people to develop stuff with. A lot of the time we deal with racers or hot rodders who they want the first part to be right.
Yeah.
For
They don't want-
for
they
the
don't-
whole
they don't
time,
wanna try
they don't
again.
want to. They don't want
Yeah.
to try again, sort of thing. So when we do get opportunities with someone who's developing an engine over 3 or 4 seasons, that can be really good for everybody. And that's over the years. That's what Calford's done too. We'll start with something and then we'll try little bits and pieces. So we mix theory testing, with all of our design software. We mix that with a bit of dyno testing.
Yes. 75% of your business goes
Yeah.
offshore. That's
It'd
incredible.
It'd be that. It's probably in the last 10 years that it's really ramped up, maybe 10 or 12. And it started when we got in the first CNC cam grinder that we have. So that was bought in. We were doing a lot of cams. Obviously, this is before I was here, but we were doing a lot of cams manually. And we still do. We still do a lot of manual machine stuff. But there were guys here that would do cams 20 at a time, manual grinding. For a bulk order for customers overseas. And some of it for like white box stuff that we make for other cam companies around the world. So I think it was about 2006, 2007. I think the CNC machine was set up, and all of a sudden it blew up. And not the machine, the market. Sorry,
The market blew up.
no. So yeah, it meant that rather than doing 10 cams here and 5 cams there, we've done runs. Well, at the time they were doing runs of 100 cams here, 100 cams there, and since I've been here, I think the biggest run we've done was 1,000 of one engine in one run.
But where did those go?
Majority of it went to America.
Yeah.
And they were, to be fair, they're little Subaru cams, but we
Doesn't
do
matter, the cams.
exactly. You do, and we're with the machine. You just get perfect repeatability. You can put the part in, and 100 cams later, it's exactly the same. And manual grinding's really good. And when you're doing 1 or 2, you can. You can make them just as accurate, but when you have to do big long runs, the CNC just does it better.
All right, my name's Sam. I've been at Calford for almost 3 years now. I'm an engineer.
Coming up your third Christmas
Yeah, it's
party.
coming to my third Christmas party. I'm an engineer, cam grinder. I've done all sorts of cams, you name it, I've grounded. I've made cams from full billet,
clean
steel
finish
bar
on the
stock.
log. So we're going to drop in now. So when I drop in, I turn the coolant off, just so I can get a really good visual on the wheel. And we take our wheel in ever so slowly until we see it start to cut. So you can see it's just taking a nice fine finish on that cam there. So we turn our coolant back on just to avoid any burning later on. And so obviously we've removed some material, so we have to recheck our measurement. So if you look nicely at the lobe now, you can actually see it's almost mirrored finish straight off the wheel. So we'll polish and coat that later on.
It's incredible what guys are doing, and it's really cool with what we do. We get to be a part of the stupid development of some of those engines. We've got guys around the world that are developing engines that are still only 2.2, 2.3 litre 4-cylinder engines, and one of them's currently building a motor that has gone over 2,000 horsepower, and with the latest mods they've done, they're looking for 3.
On a little
On a
2.2
four-cylinder engine. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just like turbo and cams and induction and getting the stuff in and out.
Pretty much, yeah. So the it's always generally turbocharged, but we've, we even still deal with guys that they don't want to run turbos. So, you don't get the big horsepower like that, but you still got 2-litre engines making nearly, over actually now 400 horsepower, from a little four-banger with no help.
With no help, man, just induction.
Yeah. I mean, and they rev them. They rev the tits off them, but they're really cool,
Well, I've still got my tits, so I haven't done any revving. No. Where are some bizarre countries that you get?
All of them. It's weird. We get a lot of. We get a lot of stuff from a lot in the Middle East, which is probably not bizarre, but some of the inquiries that you get are quite, they do the sand dune racing where they'll build essentially a drag engine to go up a 30-degree bank, and the money over there is insane. So they send it up, they blow it up, they all have a laugh and do the next one.
Do it again next week.
Yeah. It's it can be good for business, I suppose. But we get, we get even little places like Trinidad and Tobago. We get inquiries from there, and we've got a few Evos running around over there. I've even had inquiries from Madagascar. I mean, I wouldn't have thought there was a hot rodding scene in Madagascar, but
is the Lima.
All over the world, there's there's
people who just love to go past.
Petrol heads everywhere, Nowhere is safe from us.
Carl, thank you so much, man.
No, not a problem at all, mate.
Woohoo!
Awesome. Cheers, Doug.
Thanks, Carl.
Have a good one.
Good stuff, Doug. I learned a lot about cams there. The unsung hero of the motor. Now, some more fine product from Mothers.
Here's to chrome. This kind of chrome, that kind of chrome. Chrome here, chrome there. Chrome by the inch, chrome by the yard. Now there's a unique sprayable quick polish to clean and protect any chrome surface with ease. Mother's California Gold All Chrome. Just spray, wipe, and buff your way to a brilliant shine. All Chrome from Mother's.
Well, we know that with the COVID restrictions, there's not a lot of racing going on at the moment. In fact, there's not a lot of anything going on in Auckland. So here's something to whet your appetite, because summer is just round the corner. We've got some footage from the Auckland Invasion, which took place at the Masterton Autoplex. Doug, I'm sure you'll agree that's an amazing complex these days. The last time I was there, it was just an airstrip.
Yeah, I tell you what, Masterton Motorplex down there, it is one of the most amazing drag strips I've ever been to. You've got mountains at one end, mountains at the other end, a drag strip in the middle, man. And it is just, blue sky and sun up above you. It really is it's a place to be. I love going there.
I know that Tony Marsh rates it as the best surface in New Zealand drag racing.
Really?
Probably New Zealand's newest drag strip.
Yeah, and who else would know better than Tony Marsh?
Exactly right. He is the guru when it comes to drag racing. Doug, you've been around the strip for a long time, done a lot of drag racing yourself. What's the buzz about the sport?
The buzz about the sport, it's the sound, it's the smell, you know, it's the vibrations you feel, you know, like, it's just a whole, it's like 1,000 horsepower of excitement, you know, all bottled up and released in a quarter mile. You know, these guys are quarter mile gladiators, you know. Like to see them suit up with their oxygen masks and all that, you know. They've been waiting for this COVID-19 thing for decades. They've all had their suits with the breathing apparatus. So, you know, drag racers, I guess you're just quite a ways ahead of everybody else.
Well, Doug's going to take off and have a cold shower because he got a little bit excited about drag racing.
I love drag racing is exciting. It's, you know,
On a more serious note, a couple of years ago now, we lost one of our drag racing brethren, if you like. You saw shots in the Masterton coverage there of Johnny Alsop in the Alsop Joinery tea bucket. The crew chief of the Alsop racing outfit was a young tearaway called Nigel Alsop. And wherever he went, he just made friends with people. He was just one of those guys. Yes, he had his issues, he had his handicaps and all the rest of it, but just such a great guy. So we just like to pay a little bit of a tribute to Nigel. One of the great things about sport is that it comes in all shapes and sizes, and that it's not always about achievements, but it's also about people. One of those people, and one of the true characters of our sport, was Nigel Alsop. A car enthusiast since he was a little boy, Nigel was bitten by the drag racing bug some 20 years ago. And in a range of cars from a CF Bedford van to what would become the second fastest small block in the world, he made his mark on the sport of drag racing in New Zealand. Sadly, we lost Nigel in February of 2019. There's no doubt about it, we're all better off from knowing this dynamic young man from Christchurch. Now, before we end our Masterton segment and our Nigel Alsop tribute, a huge thanks to Andrew Clode from Drag Clicks for his Masterton vision and the Alsop program. Good on you, Clodey. Well, welcome back to the Hot Rod Show, brought to you by Mothers Polishers and Waxers. And on a bit of a sombre note, Nigel, that one's for you, mate. Welcome back to the Hot Rod Show, brought to you by Mothers, Polishers and Waxers, Doug Bell and myself, Phil Dark, in the chair. Now, when Doug was wending his way north from the South Island, he was making his way up the Kapiti Coast and he saw a sign that caught his eye. Tell us about that, Doug.
So I'm cruising up the Kapiti Coast, as Phil said, and here's a big sign, Len Southwood's Museum. So what do you got to do? You got to make a left and you got to go in there. Go and check out this museum. It is, if you didn't know it's there, shame on you. If you haven't been there, shame on you again. You've got to go to the Southwood Museum and just experience what this guy has done for motoring in New Zealand.
We've been here nearly 3 hours now and we still haven't seen everything, and it's just absolutely amazing. So if you're ever passing, you know, on your way to Wellington, you have just got to stop in and have a look at the Southwood Car Museum. It's just absolutely mind-boggling.
And Doug, you were saying over 400 cars.
400 cars. I mean, it is just absolutely amazing. He's got everything from A to Z, and in the middle, he's got copper cars too.
Now, this is only a half-hour show, so we're never going to be able to show you 400, but we can probably pick out about a half a dozen that caught Doug and my eyes.
Now here's the barn cart. As it was found in a shed, covered in dust, covered in chook poop and all that sort of stuff, this is what a lot of cars start out as.
Look, the late Len Southwood was a car collector, there's no doubt about that, but he's got an amazing crew behind him that take cars in antiquated conditions and turn them into masterpieces. And it wasn't just cars, there was boats, and as we'll show you now, engines as well. Now this is a Merlin 31. This is a similar engine to what was used in a Mosquito bomber that was one of the heroes of World War II, kept England safe from the Germans in the Battle of Britain.
1,300 horsepower. Ben, if you've ever heard a Merlin engine in your life, you'll never forget it. It has a whistling roar that is just absolutely amazing.
Now, Doug, we're of a certain vintage that will probably remember the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Why are we talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when we're visiting the Southwoods Museum? Well, because there's a replica of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at the Southwoods Museum.
I loved that car when I was a kid, eh? Ooh, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you.
Bang, oh, you, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And in chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we'll do, near, far, in a motor car, oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
This one is a replica. It's built by Darcy Nicholson of Timaru. He built the replica from a 1913 model of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I've got a bit of trivia for you. I think Peter Jackson, who gave us Lord of the Rings and King Kong and all the movies and stuff he's got, I think he's bought the original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And he paid a whole heap of money for it.
Well, Peter, if you're watching, let us know. We'd love to come and film it.
Chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. You're sleek as a thoroughbred.
So back in 1946, a man called Gary Davis from Indiana founded the Davis Motor Company, and his big thing was a three-wheeled car. Unfortunately, the company went out of business after 2 years, so that was a bit sad. But as I said before, Yamaha have taken that technology and brought it through to modern days. They've got a three-wheel motorcycle, 2 wheels in the front, 1 in the back, and it handles just like a 2-wheel bike.
Del Boy and his Reliant Robin.
Exactly, yeah. Probably the inspiration.
Yeah, that's where they all got it from. It's all inspired.
Doug, I know you're impressed with that copper car you saw.
Oh, just amazing. Phil, this, it's got to be seen to be believed, man.
Was it polished? Was it really shiny?
Oh, yeah, it had polish, you know, it had patina, but it was copper. It'd been like coated with something, I don't know, but...
We should get Pete there and get it some Mother's treatment.
I
That'd
think
really
they need
look
some
good,
Mothers.
wouldn't
There's
it?
no shine like Mothers.
Let's tell you a little bit about it. Phil Lewis was the owner. It started off as just a bare chassis, like a lot of rebuilds do. And he built it, and it was exhibited in the Christmas parade in Auckland in 1920.
1920?
Yeah. Doug, there's no doubt about it. All the cars are interesting at Southwoods, but I know this one caught your eye as well. It's a 1928 Chrysler 70 Roadster.
Yeah.
It was built to take on Cadillac, so it was obviously very much a luxury brand.
Yeah. Well, I've got a 1925 Chrysler four-door sedan down the country, and I just love Chryslers. I'd say beautiful little wings, Chrysler airflows and all that. Chrysler have always been ahead of the game.
6,416 were built. A 4,079cc Chrysler engine powered it, and no doubt about it, more power with the more power.
Walter P. Chrysler.
They probably sold like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing took your fancy, and that is the maintenance of
Yeah.
all these cars and exhibits at Southwoods. And you went and filled the man that polishes them all.
Yeah. When you've got 400 cars to clean, you need something really good to clean them. And I just hope this guy's using Mother's polish because he surely gets into his job.
Hiya.
What's your name?
Brie.
Who?
Brie.
Brie.
Yep.
Oh, it's like the cheese.
Like the cheese.
Oh, wow. I get people say that to you often, huh?
Very
You
often.
get sick of it? I won't say it
It's
again.
just my name. It's not.
Just your name.
It helps people remember it.
Yeah, how long you been here?
Just under 3 months.
Yeah, enjoying it?
I love my job.
Is this how you cut? It's like the apprenticeship. You got to polish brass for how many years?
This is my job. This
Oh,
is
just
what I
polishing
do.
the brass,
I
yeah.
polish the brass and I clean the cars and I
Yeah.
like sweep and do the bathrooms and things.
Neat, eh?
It's a good job. I like
Yeah.
my job. Yeah.
What a job! I mean, you're here amongst all these amazing cars
Oh,
all
yeah.
day.
It's a good job. I get to see and touch all these beautiful cars. So what's not to enjoy about it, right?
Yeah.
Wow, 400 cars. I wonder how many does a day. How many do you think he would do a day, Phil? And how long would it take to clean 400 cars?
Yeah, but they've got to be more than clean, don't they? They've
Yeah,
got
they've
to
gotta
be
be polished.
exhibit ready.
Yeah.
They've got to be polished. They've got
Exhibit
to be
quality.
immaculate. Well, obviously we couldn't show you the 400 cars at Len Southwoods Museum, but well worth a visit if you're heading down Wellington Way on the Kapiti Coast. You can't miss the sign. Doug couldn't anyway. Well,
couldn't.
time's against us, folks. We've come to the end of another one here. So the Hot Rod Show about to wrap up for another week. Doug, thank you for all your travels.
Thank you,
Look
Phil.
forward to doing it all again next week.
Well, we were going to show you Dave Aze's 41 Willis Coupe, but you know, in courtesy to New Zealand V8 magazine, we're going to show it at a later date, but it's all ready to see.
Well, Doug, just before we go, let's have another look at some wonderful Mother's products.
Mother's CMX ceramic spray coating. Its revolutionary silicon dioxide and titanium dioxide blend goes on lightning fast, wet or dry, and creates a game-changing, ultra-durable, super hydrophobic barrier between your car and a world of mess. Coating and caring for your vehicle has never been easier or more affordable. Mother's CMX ceramic spray coating. Join the revolution.
Here's to chrome. This kind of chrome, that kind of chrome. Chrome here, chrome there. Chrome by the inch, chrome by the yard. Now there's a unique sprayable quick polish to clean and protect any chrome surface with ease. Mother's California Gold All Chrome. Just spray, wipe, and buff your way to a brilliant shine. All Chrome from Mother's.
Well, that's it, folks, for the Mother's Polishes and Waxes Hot Rod Show for another week. Now, if you want to see more, and who wouldn't, you can always get us on the social media. You can go to Facebook or YouTube, or you can go to thehotrodshow.com.
Well, that's it for another episode from Phil and I, and we can't go without our famous... Woohoo!